5, Split 5. Welcome to the final race of the Clio SoF here at the Circuito de Navarra. I see a Mario and Luigi livery in the background. Oh boy, we are in for a treat. For the third time in Clio SoF history and the third time this season, we have a Split 5 and a heavily blinking car. Oh, we are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. So let's jump right to the starting grid and then the start of the race. Our starting grid from Kevin van Lanker down to Pietro Micheletti. Why do I say this? Because number 15 and 16 have not gridded and will not race. I have seen that on Clio SoF. Let's go racing! Split 5 for the third time in its history, and I see at least one car having one bad start. So only 14 cars, so maybe not as many crashes. Maybe not. Kevin Veske. That was all close. Or as I will call it, Luigi livery. Luigi and Mario next to each other. Johan, this cannot be a coincidence. This can't be. Paul Gilbert against Adam Turkington. We have seen there was another Turkington Split 3. Was it James Turkington? I think it was James Turkington. Either way, another Turkington. Elliot Weston leading the charge. Kevin van Lanker P2, Thomas Bruin P3. So the three names we are most familiar in the split are in the top 3. We've seen Michael Pratt a bit, so he can be called a driver we are familiar with. The rest are not Clio regulars, but maybe the top 3 can show us how it is done. They have quite a bit of a gap to Paul Gilbert, Adam Turkington, and Bogdan Čuklja, a Romanian name it appears. We will see it in Clio SoF later, but I would assume it's a Romanian name, so I tried with Bogdan Čuklja. But they're fighting for P4, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah? They're fighting. Big gap though already. 3 seconds between 3 and 4. Thomas Bruin wants to get past Kevin van Lanker. They're side by side, while we focus on this second group. Bogdan Čuklja, this is a different choice of line by Johan Desorme. Little contact, car number 4. This is Paul Gilbert. Nothing too major, but since the pack is so close together, he lost quite a few positions. He is now behind Callum Morgan, who had an awful start from what I have seen. I think it was him at the very least. And now he's being chased by Luigi, better known as Kevin Veske. Like I said, this can't be a coincidence. And I can already tell he is not upshifting at the right RPM value. We mentioned it so often in the past. Oh, little bit of rough contact there. Paul Gilbert and Antonio Pajdak. Yeah, it's to be expected that the lower drivers, especially those that we don't have seen yet, probably don't know the hidden trick of the Clio, which is upshift at 5,500 RPM. If it sounds weird, trust me, bro. There's a great Clio iRacing tips or tricks video by Gareth Winslade, one of our regulars, which not only tells you this, but also shows you the impact of upshifting at 5,500 has. And maybe our top 3 are the only ones that are doing it. Maybe. But like I said, trust me. Trust me on that. Someone is flashing their lights. This is Antonio Paidak. He was not happy with how Paul Gilbert got past him. Elliott Weston, 1.8 seconds in the lead. Thomas Bruin P2 and Kevin Van Lanker P3. Adam Turkington, Bogdan Chuklea. Behind them, Michael Pratt. Like I said, we have seen him a few times this season. Michael Pratt, that is. And Elliott Weston. So far, this looks good for him. 5 minutes in. And back to Gilbert and Paidak. Yeah, it's also a bit difficult to commentate a race with so many unfamiliar cars. Can I say this? For once, the camera is showing us the leader. Isn't this amazing? I think it is. But anyway, Thomas Bruin, Kevin Van Lanker, this battle for P2. Thomas Bruin has gotten it over the past laps. I think, yeah, it was what's happening in lap 2. We're at the end of lap 3. Still, we expect 8 laps here at the Circuito de Navarra for this race. And if we take a look at the minimap, 2.2 seconds between Weston and Bruin, then the battle for P2, then a big 4.5 gap. And then at the end, again, another big gap of 7.4 seconds between Niccolo Riminucci and Pietro Micheletti. Behind him is Stuart Ireland, who is in P14 finishing. Adam Turkington dropping positions. I assume, based on where he was on the minimap, what happened. But we will take a look at it. Because so far I have not written down a lot. Not a lot. Yeah, it's interesting that we see Elliott Weston so much and always from that camera angle. Must be a programming thing of the tool we are using. Riminucci gets past Kevin Weske. This is something we probably can write down. And overtake. We like to see those. This was in turn, was it in turn 5, I think. Always for, for the notes, it makes it a bit easier. And honestly, the lap counter in the top has helped me so much with that. Which makes the process of creating these videos a bit faster. Oh, Thomas Bruin with a mistake. This opens up maybe an opportunity for Kevin Van Lanker. Look how close he is. Now we don't see... Ah, yes. Thomas Bruin, defensive line. Not sure if it was entirely necessary, but he stays in P2, it seems. Goes up... Nah, this is fine. Still fine. Nah, this is fine. Good job by Thomas Bruin. stays in P2. Niccolo Riminucci and Kevin Weske. There was an overtake involving Michael Pratt. And Paul Gilbert, who is back in P5 after this one incident early on lap 2. Yeah, Kevin Weston, this is pretty dominant.
God damn it, I was trying to keep a clean slate. Sorry, a little off track.
When will I learn to deactivate the chat? Never, it seems! Every single week, at least once, I forget to press the damn button. Anyway, Thomas Bruin was a bit annoyed about his first off-track of the race, it seems. He wanted a clean sheet, but even then, one off-track is not a lot. If you take a look at the incident counter on ClioSoF.com for each race, you will see pretty high numbers, especially, I think, Top Split had the most, if I remember correctly. So, only having one, not bad. And to this 4-pack involving Mario and Luigi and their 2 sidekicks, Niccolo Reminucci and Callum Morgan. Ooh, little slider by Luigi. Yeah, okay, Kevin Weske. It's not Luigi, it's just a Luigi livery. It can't be a coincidence. They must be mates or so. Maybe we see them more often. Maybe this is a one-time only show. Maybe we get an overtake here done. Kevin Van Lanker, Thomas Bruin. Van Lanker on the outside tries to cut into the inside. Nope. So he stays on the inside for the next corner though. Ooh, little bit of contact, but Kevin stayed behind him. Have you seen that? He stayed behind him like, hey, that was a dumb move, or it was my mistake, or whatever. Here. No harm, no foul. Because even though the gap to P4 is now only 2.3 seconds, experience in terms of pace of this race has shown us that this should not become an issue for them. Even though I have to say Bogdan Chuklea has driven away from the rest. And Kevin Van Lanker, next chance. We are now in lap 7 out of 8. Where is he? Where is Thomas Bruin? There he is. Van Lanker on the outside. Bruin inside. Bruin P2. Van Lanker wants P2. Has a good exit. Has a real good exit. And now the opportunity to take it. Or not, we jump away because Kevin Weske and Niccolo Riminucci, they are fighting as well. This is for P10. And Van Lanker seems to have done it. Yes. Battle P2. This went from turn 1 to at least turn 5. And Kevin Weston, Kevin Weston, Elliot Weston, different Weston, 6.6 seconds now as a result, so it is his race to lose at this stage of the race. 1.5 minutes, 6.6 seconds. Elliott, relax, bring it home, and celebrate a split 5 victory. Sounds like a plan, am I right? I'm curious why we always get this camera shot when we are shown the leader. I mean, I like it that we get to see the leader for once, even though he has a big gap, but it's always the same camera angle. I wonder if this is a programming quirk. Either way, he is in the final lap of the race. The field is pretty spread out. The closest is P7 and 8, 0.5 seconds, Turkington and Pyduck. But other than that, it is spread out. Thomas Bruin, does he have a chance to get his P2 back? Time is running out, but we have seen late overtakes in this week. Look through split 1 and 4 and you'll find them. All broadcasts on this channel in the playlist. Give it a watch. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like the content. Adam Turkington. Antonio Pyduck. P7, P8. Shows himself a little bit but stays behind. This is good. Adam Turkington, I think he has a good chance to it hurts me to see them upshifting at 6,000 plus. It hurts me. But if you don't know it, how should you know? It is probably the biggest quirk of the car in iRacing. Upshift much sooner than you expect. And over the course of the excuse me, I hit the microphone. And over the course of a 15-minute race, you gain several seconds, maybe 2 or 3 seconds at least. Only from that, I'm pretty sure. Elliott Weston wins those 7 seconds in front of Kevin van Lanker and Thomas Bruin. Congratulations. Good showing from the top 3. Bogdan Chuklea found the pace the longer the race went. Paul Gilbert, Michael Pratt, Adam Turkington, Antonio Pyduck, P7 and 8. Then we wait for this 4-man group: Kellen Morgan, Mario Luigi, Niccolo Reminucci, and now only 2 cars left, which are Stuart Ireland and Pietro Micheletti. They are. And with that, split 5 is over. And these are the results. And what these results mean for the overall and the split 5 championship, we're gonna find out now. Back at the standings we are, and as usual, let's find our participants. Where is the very first? I assume it will take a while since it is a split 5 race. Where is it? Have you any guesses? I see a lot. Kevin van Lanker, P57. There he is. Thomas Bruin, not far behind, only 3 points. 1 race more though. He has been there every single week, which is pretty amazing itself. But Kevin van Lanker, the highest ranked driver in the overall standings of our race today. And let's see if we find any more of them. This is the other Turkington. Elliott Weston, there he is. 3rd race in the Clio SoF this season. P93. Our race winner makes a nice jump of 10 positions. Would have been more if it was not quote unquote just split 5 with how the overalls work and all that, but a win is a win is a win. And for the split 5 standings, which we'll see in a moment, it will have probably a much bigger effect. We see Bogdan Chuklea there, Paul Gilbert, yeah, they're slowly come. My favorite driver, MP4, and yeah, 163 drivers we have seen thus far. Nope. Hey, how did I do this yesterday? I somehow made this work. Now I want to know. Okay, we do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, I give up. And we see something real interesting in the standings for Split 5. And that is that we have 4 drivers that have driven every single Split 5 race in the history of Split 5 racing. Kevin van Lanker, Elliott Weston, Thomas Bruin and Michael Pratt. Whenever there was a Split 5 race, they were there. And as I mentioned, there it is a bigger impact. Elliott Weston is in P2, 11 points behind Kevin van Lanker. 11 points is a nice little gap, but nothing too crazy, because if you take a look at the point scoring system, I will show them like this. 11 points is basically P10, P11, depending how you look at it, from which angle. So it is a bit, but it's not a lot. And the season is still young enough, but we always have to be realistic about it, especially once we hit all the paid tracks at the later half of the season. We don't know how many Split 5 races we will have. Having 3 of them is amazing enough. Next week we are in Oschersleben, which is another free track, so maybe we get 1 more, and then it could get rough. But, like I said, even having it is a huge accomplishment. How many drivers did we even have in Split 5? We have not talked about that yet. 41. 41 drivers have appeared. And yeah, I cannot say raced, because this Timur and this Shankar guy, they have not started the race which we have just seen, so appeared, let's call it that. Calling it is a good word, because we're calling this week. We are done with the 5 races here at the Circuito de Navarra. A few more highlights to round it up, and then next week, which is in 3 days for you. Yeah, it's in 3 days. I had to calculate in my head a little bit. We will be in Oschersleben, Germany. Another popular track. We expect quite a big field. Maybe 5 splits again. Who knows? But yeah, a few more highlights, and then Oschersleben next week. I hope you enjoyed the Navarra races, and I hope to see you again next week as well. Take care.